Hello there. Welcome to the prep for push. We're getting your shoulders ready, your back ready. We're getting you ready for our upper body session, a push and a pull really. We're starting from the floor. Remember, warm up is key, kids. Movement number one, we're gonna go through some scorpions just to get, to access the range of motion in our shoulders and to slowly fatigue the joint a little bit as well. I'm using my breath to set the pace, so I like to exhale to go, inhale to return. Keeping arms off the floor. You can have your head down, head up, whichever is most comfortable. But go through all of these repetitions without touching the ground. Movement number two, we're gonna progress into some cobras, working on spinal extension. A lot of us are used to doing things in front of us, so our spine is rounded, so we're helping to remedy this before we start, right? So when we push, when we load the upper body, we're not compressing our spine or adding to it. So again, breath sets the pace. I exhale up, push my body away from my shoulders, inhale back down to start. Exhale up, squeeze my glutes, get as much extension in my lower back as I can, and inhale back down. Cool, that's the two on the floor done. We're moving real quick over to the wall. We're gonna go for a wall press, right? So I want you to keep the points of contact clear here. Back of your hands and your elbows stay in contact with the wall. Try not to create too much of an arch. You're gonna have a natural arch in your lower back, but keep your scapula, your shoulder blades against the wall and your butt as well. Breath again sets the pace here. Take a big breath in before you move. Exhale, push up towards the ceiling. Inhale, come back down, keeping those points of contact. Or you can just say the whole of your forearm. Keep it in contact with the wall, shoulder blades as well. Control back down to start. So this real basic, real simple, is helping us to prep for overhead pressing. Press up, control back down. Number two, we're gonna grab our trusty band. I don't like to call these dislocations, but that's what they are. Don't let that word scare you. If you need to warm up into the movement, please do so. I'm gonna show you from the side. So again, it's about finding a strong position, long in your torso. Try not to compensate for this movement. So as you go over, sometimes the first couple, I would just test out the range of motion, get a real stretchy band so you don't feel restricted. And once you feel comfortable, go all the way through, come all the way back up to the top. So again, using the breath to set the pace, keeping the body as still as I can, and trying not to compensate too much with the movement so that it's just the shoulders doing the work. And again, just more prep so that when we go and load the joint, it's ready. Come with me. Oh shit, no, we got one more. Come with me. So we're gonna use the wall again. These are cars, but for your shoulders. So controlled articular rotations. We're using the wall just so that we can't deviate too much out to the side and give us a challenge of staying as close to the body as we can. And therefore, like accessing more range of motion in the shoulders, right? So standing upright, clenched fist, long in the arm. Trying not to rotate my torso too much, but a little is not a problem. Coming up and then over. Big breath out, arm nice and straight, clenched fist. Whew. And bring it back. So make sure you do both sides equally on the right, equally on the left, up and over and up. Cool. Come with me, come with me, come with me. So last but not least, we're gonna go into some banded external rotations. So I have two versions of this. Standing upright, again, trying to minimize the compensation. Glue your elbow down to your side. Externally rotate. So you can see the band is about in line with my fist, trying to keep my body nice and still. Try not to use my body weight to pull the band, externally rotate. And for me, this is just to remedy the issues of our very sedentary lifestyle. We do everything in front of us. So turning outwards can be an issue. And you want to make sure you're strong, warm, and prepped in this position before you load, so you're not, deviating and having to stabilize and losing strength and energy to do so. So once I've done that version, do it on both sides. And then I'm gonna have upper arm parallel to the floor, forearm as well. Tuck the elbow back as far as I can. Externally rotate this way as well. So about 6 to 8 reps should be cool. Try and have control of the tempo. So as you pull back, don't let your arm snap back. Pull and control back to start. Cool. On both arms. Superset number 1. We're gonna start with some face pulls. Prep the rear delts. Something that gets overlooked in a lot of movements, and then especially muscle specific training as well, is the rear delts, which is the back of the shoulders. So being that they are not as strong as the lats, start with a lightweight. You didn't really go super heavy here. What I would also say as well is any movement, it could be with dumbbells, we're just choosing to use cables today, keep the elbows high. The lower you bring them, the more the lats want to take over, and they're really good at that. So the higher you keep your elbows, the more rear delt specific the exercise will be. So this has just become one of my favorites. This is because it helps me to reduce the amount of movement I am producing through my hips. Big proud chest, again about elbows high, and pull the rope to the face. Control back to start, same tempo. 1 in, 2 back out. So this would be concentric, we're contracting the rear delts to get the rope and the cable in here. And this is eccentric, we're releasing that contraction slow and under control. So 1 and 2 seconds back in. Exercise number 2 of superset number 1 is gonna be push-ups, right? So we were pulling in this plane, so I like to push in this plane as well. We're gonna make a diamond but not come all the way in, just to get some convergence of the chest and some more, you know, chest gains. Down on the floor, fingers facing inwards slightly. Like I said, hands not all the way together, keeping the same tempo. So we have 2 seconds down, elbows stay close, 1 second up. 2 seconds down, 1 second up. Superset number 2. So we're pressing overhead and we're pulling overhead as well. So we just got through with some pull-ups. Just pulling from overhead, and now we're gonna press overhead. So best bet for me is a military overhead press. Grab the bar, load the weight, don't go too heavy. We're still focused on time under tension. So we're going 1 second up, 2 seconds back down. So I like to start front loaded, underneath the bar, find your feet. It's okay to have a little spring from here, but try and use your upper body as much as you can. Press overhead, control back down to start. 1 second up, 2 seconds back down. 1 up, 2 down. I like to keep my elbows as close as I can as well. Again, but these are just preferences. Superset number 2, we're pulling and we're pushing from overhead. So starting with the pull again, we're going for some pull-ups. We're gonna go with wide grip, just to get as much lat activation as possible. So a few things as you go through, start from a dead hang. Open up your chest and pull your chest up towards the bar. Same thing with the tempo, right? 1 second up, 2 seconds back down. You're definitely gonna take a drop in terms of reps that you can get if you just go in and crank it through them, but that's fine. We'll focus on muscular endurance and hypertrophy. So 1 second up, 2 seconds down. If you can't go at that tempo with just body weight, grab yourself a band. Hopefully you have a bar, tie the band around the bar, put your feet in the band, and it just reduces the amount of weight that you're pulling. Oh, this is a talk through one, right? Cool. So bent over rows. It's important that you know how to hinge. So big proud chest, if you go practice without the weight, do so. You wanna say, I am a crane. Hinge from your hips, soft knees. From this position, right, I want you to get into the habit of rowing the elbows back rather than shrugging and rowing up. Keep your shoulders nice and relaxed, roll back, control back to start. So we're going for the same tempo. 1 second up, 2 seconds back down. 1 second up, 2 seconds back down. We were pulling from this type of angle, so I want to push from this angle as well as the push and pull, the pull and push superset, right? So the best thing for that, in my opinion, is tricep dips. In terms of the setup, reduce the swing. I like to have my body at almost like a 45-degree angle. Pushing up and down, have a straight line from the back of my head to the base of my spine. So up, instead of dipping like this, which I used to do, and be swinging and using my knees and all sorts, I try and again push my hips forward, keep that straight line to replicate the angle that we were doing the bent over rows. Look, somebody gotta pay me. Who you know could do dips and a demonstration same time? And talk through same time? Second workout of the day same time? Running on some dates and some peanut butter same time? And some H2O. Jesus, I need to eat. We can get this done so I can go get some food. We got one more. We got one more. We're almost there. Single arm stuff and the outro. But in terms of physical exercise, we got one more superset to go.